Hey all, I have a couple of announcements to make. This is kind of an off-the-cuff video. I just decided to throw this together now instead of later on, just so I don't put it off. But we're going to talk about kind of the future of what's coming up for the channel. We are going to do the second battle report for Warcry once we have the chance to. I need to stop hitting my desk so the camera stops shaking. It's just been a matter of energy, getting sick, having to push stream a lot more for the past month. Couple things that kind of pushed it behind, but we'll get back on schedule on that soon. Also, want to announce that now that we have Rulebook, we're also going to do a Path to Glory campaign as well. So you can expect maybe 2 Warcry campaigns or 2 Warcry battle reports a month and 2 AOS ones. My goal. That's also determined on both Naz and Mai's disability and how much it allows us to actually get recording done. On top of that, of course, this is the campaign we're doing for Warcry. Also, I got thinking about some of the content I want to do. I've been thinking about this content for a while, but never really understood how I want to incorporate it until a few days ago. So, when I originally decided to start changing the channel over to what I want it to be, I had this concept of taking fantasy tropes and talking about them for about a month, do a few videos or two, a month or two, and just having this series of short videos that make up a longer video. The problem is the 2 topics I want to talk the most about were also the topics I had the most to talk about. And those were the idea of fantasy cities and knightly orders, as well as dark knights, black knights, whatever. That was a world of conversation. So what I'm going to do is instead combine both those concepts and the concept of guilds and stuff in fantasy media, and just do a series on that. Not have it be a few videos here monthly. Do a video where I talk about, say, Settlers Gain and the idea of equity versus equality, or green energy, or talk about Misthaven and pirate ports, that kind of stuff, or dissecting different cities, going into the layout of a medieval city while looking at the Dawnbringers Crusade, taking my favorite cities in fantasy and using them to talk about topics, or just straight up talking about some of the fantasy knightly orders and pair it with some educational topic I could put in with it, as well as historical context and stuff. This is a series I'm excited about, and I've been trying to figure out how to do for about 2 years now. I haven't figured out. We're going to start getting ready on it. There's a few other smaller topics. I want to talk a little more about fantasy quote-unquote races, heritages, bloodlines, whatever you want to call them. I want to talk a little bit about different forms of magic, and my computer is being very loud right now. I'm sorry. But in the end, I'm just going to do it as one series with the assumption that the topic is going to be everyday life in fantasy worlds. Instead of focusing on the heroes and the adventurers, focus on the people that build the world. The citizens, the guards, the knights, all that stuff that build the world that the heroes live in. And I think that's how I'm going to approach it. I will probably end up taking a city and talking about a whole thing on a city, or a game with a city and talk about the whole thing, the topic with that, instead of taking broad assumptions and broad conversation and trying to mash it down into something. I don't know how long each video will be, or how many times a month they're going to come out, or a year, or whatever. But I'm probably going to start with this sooner than later. Also, on that same conversation, one city won't be mentioned that originally was going to, and that's kind of the monkey wrench that knocked all the gears loose, is because I don't want to really talk about World of Warcraft at this point in time. I know it has a huge impact on this topic. I mean, Stormwind itself is probably one of the more important modern fantasy cities in my opinion, but I want to try to avoid that for many reasons. But But yeah, I'm going to start doing this soon. We're going to get some battle reports up. We're going to try to get some like fantasy themed board games up. I'm probably going to slow down on, well, I have slowed down on video game footage. I want to do more tabletop stuff on this channel, which was kind of a goal in the beginning. But yeah, that's the announcement I want to make. I will see you all later. Love you all. Until the videos start coming out. Bye.